In Genesis, we read, God created the heavens and the earth, and God created a man named Adam and a woman named Eve. And he put them in the Garden of Eden for a purpose, to work it. Work is a gift from God. Money represents our work. It is good to work. It is good to make money. But then the question becomes, what am I going to do with the money that I make? Obviously, providing for our families and ourselves is very important. Obviously, saving some for the future is important. But equally important is learning to give money away to help others, investing in other people. Paul's brother gave him a car, a brand new car, shiny car, for Christmas. On Christmas Eve, he came out of his office and saw a little street urchin standing next to his car, admiring it. He said to the kid, "Would you like a drive in it?" And the kid looked up at him and said, "Yes, sir." And then Paul said, I was given this car by my brother as a Christmas present. I haven't paid a dime for it. And the little boy said, "Really? Boy, I wish." And Paul said, yeah, to himself, "I bet you wish that you had a brother like that." But instead, the little kid continued, "Boy, I wish I could be a brother like that." And that statement jarred Paul right to his heels. As they're driving around the city looking at some of the Christmas windows, suddenly the little street kid looks up at Paul and says, "Sir, could you drive me past my home?" And Paul immediately thought, yeah, I bet this little kid would like his neighbors to see what a fine car he's being driven around in. But as they got near his home, the little kid said, "Sir, could you park right in front of my home and let me run inside quickly?" Paul said, "Sure." So he parked and the little kid ran inside. And the little kid came back, walking very slowly, carrying his crippled brother. He put his crippled brother down on the step right next to the sidewalk, and he pointed at the car and at Paul and said, "His brother gave him that car. I hope to do that for you one day. And then we'll be able to drive around together and see all the Christmas windows that I've been telling you about." Paul got out of the car, picked up the little kid, the crippled kid, put him in the front seat. The older brother sat beside him. And Paul drove around the city, showing those two boys the Christmas windows. Paul understood that Christmas like never before. The meaning of Jesus' words, "It is more blessed to give than it is to receive." We read in John 3:16, "For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son." And Joseph's brothers stood before him, and Joseph could have thrown the book at him and nailed him, had him executed, or at least put in prison for the dastardly thing they had done to their brother Joseph, selling him into slavery. Instead, Joseph said, "You intended it for evil, but God intended it for good, to save many people." In other words, Joseph got the bigger perspective on life, the perspective that included God, the all-powerful sovereign Lord, who can take warped things that human beings do and bring good out of them. And Joseph understood it was important to give forgiveness to his brothers. And Paul began to understand that Christmas like never before, the importance of giving to others and building others up. Yes, it's good to work. God created us to work. Yes, it's good to make money. God created us to make money. But then we've got to think hard about what to do with that money. Many of us are in a position of privilege as citizens of this great country, the United States of America. But we are responsible, because we have as much money as we do, to give, and to give some more. What motivates you to do that? The grace of God. When you begin to understand and grasp God's generosity to you, that changes your heart. You see, friends, Christianity is not following a set of rules tacked up alongside a wall. Give this money to that person. Rather, Christianity, vital, dynamic Christianity, is a love relationship with a God who is gracious and generous and who loves each one of us and has given us so many gifts. It's incredible. When you begin to understand and grasp the generosity of God, the grace of God, you become a gracious, generous person. God bless you as you put your faith in Jesus Christ, receiving the gift of eternal life from him, and then learning to live a life of gracious generosity. God bless you as you make that decision.